If you've chosen to configure your rig slider up because you're taking a delay of 5 seconds or more, or for some other reason, you'll need to be sure that the control lines are routed inside the slider grommets and the keeper rings. Be sure that your slider is free to move up and down the lines. Remove the tailgate and change the pilot chute to a size appropriate for the delay. Free the slider so that it's above the bumpers. Remove the bumper from the link, push the slider grommet past the link and the bumper, and push the bumper back down. Perform the same action on the opposite side. Your slider should now be free to slide up and down the lines. Reroute your control lines through the slider grommet and the keeper ring. Remove the toggle from the end of the control line. Pass the control line through the rear slider grommet and the keeper ring on the riser. Then, reattach the toggle to the end of the control line. Repeat the process with the other control line.
Option.
Rather than a sewn loop, many modern base rigs have a free end to the control line. To attach a toggle to this free end, simply tie an overhand knot in the line at the position that you want the toggle to take. Bend the line over in a loop above the knot and pass the loop through the grommet on the toggle. Then pass the handle of the toggle through the loop and pull. The knot should act as a backstop, securing the toggle onto the line. With this system, the toggle position can easily be changed by simply adjusting the position of the knot and sliding the toggle up or down the line. The tailgate simply slides through a finger-trapped attachment on the center C-line. For slider up, we traditionally remove the tailgate to allow the tail to drive the slider more cleanly.
Option.
Some jumpers prefer to leave the tailgate in place for slider up jumps. If you choose to do this, be aware that your opening may be slightly slower and that there is some chance the tailgate may entangle a large hole mesh slider. This is not an issue with a fine mesh slider. During the packing process, it's important to keep the two risers even and symmetric, so the two sides of the canopy sit evenly. To do this, we will tie the 3-ring assemblies together. Pass a pull-up cord through the slot of the base ring on both sides, and tie the pull-up cord tight to keep the risers even.
Option. Clamp those bitches.
There are many methods of leveling the risers, and any of them work. Many jumpers prefer to simply clamp the risers themselves together below the links, or even to clamp the links together to hold the risers even. To perform the 4-line check on the left side, first set the canopy with its nose to the left. Pick up the rear risers and the control lines in your right hand, and the front risers in your left hand. Walk forward and shift the canopy so the nose is pointed to the left. To perform the four-line check, find the left riser set, lift it, and identify the far left line on both the front and the rear left risers. These should lead to the left A and B and C and D lines. Hold the left control line in your other hand. Walk forward and verify that there are no other lines passing over the top of the left side A, B, C, and D lines. Straighten the control line as you move back towards the container. Next, choose the correct brake setting for your configuration and delay. If there are multiple brake settings on your line, you need to choose which one to use for this pack job. The brake setting closest to the toggle is called factory shallow or simply shallow. This brake setting will be used for all slider up jumps. The next brake setting on the line is called factory deep or simply deep. This brake setting is used for slider down jumps from objects which are not solid, such as bridges or antennas where you may encounter tailwind during deployment. If there is a third custom setting on the line, this is the setting closest to the tail of the canopy, and it is called custom deep or customized deep brake setting. This setting is used only by the jumper whose body weight this setting was tested for, and only for solid slider down objects. To set the brakes for a slider up pack job, simply pull the line through the keeper ring and insert the toggle stub through the brake setting. This should look very familiar to you, as this is exactly how you set the brakes on a skydiving rig. Insert the toggle stub into the keeper, attach the toggle to the Velcro, and stow the excess line in the line stow system. Next, perform a four-line check on the right side of the canopy. Grasp the rear risers and control lines in your left hand and the front risers in your right hand. Walk forward and set the canopy down with its nose facing to the right. By lifting the right riser set and finding the far right line on the front riser and the far right line on the rear riser, along with the right control line. Walk these lines forward and lift them, verifying that there are no other lines over the top. Then, straighten the control line as you return to the container. Set the right brake exactly as you set the left brake. Pull the brake setting through the keeper ring, insert the toggle stub through the brake setting on the line, ignore the white loop for slider up, and stow the toggle stub in the elastic keeper. Mate the toggle Velcro, pre-tension the toggle, and stow the excess in the stow system. This brings us to our first safety checkpoint, checking the brakes. Lay the canopy on its side with the nose facing to the right. Lift the rear risers and control lines in your left hand and the front risers in your right hand. Walk forward, lift the canopy, and set it down on the side with the nose facing to the right.